Port Vale begin this game brightly. That's a good looking ball. There could be a chance for a break here. That's a good tackle. Vale pick it up again. Walker comes inside. Shoots! Walker! 1-0 Port Vale. Fantastic goal. And the Valiant fans go wild. There's a good break wide. Ray Walker was backing up his attackers, picks the ball up 25 yards out and hits an unstoppable shot in the top right hand corner. Ball into the area. Sproson's there. Beckford! Sproson! It's 2-0. Phil Sproson caused chaos in the Tottenham defence. They couldn't clear the lines. And he smashed it into the back of the net. The keeper couldn't make it. Beckford had a chance. Forward to Sproson. And he smashes it into the net.
and it's cleared away. Now watch Dean Glover here. Hits the ball forward, and the goalkeeper commits himself against Paul Kerr here, and out it comes to Robin van der Laan, and what he did was clinical. He found the back of the net.
Marvellous. That's not as easy as it looks from that sort of distance, you know, to put the ball in the back of the net like that, but great goal for the Vale.
Walkabout as he likes to do. We've all seen Paul Musselwhite do this. Plays a long ball forward now. Really long ball forward, and it was Keith Houghton trying to get it. Watch this, Ian Taylor, right foot volley. And I think that was the goal of the season, Phil. But you've got other ideas, haven't you?
Well, I think the next one coming up is the goal of the season for Port Vale, but take nothing away from Ian Taylor.
This is your goal. Describe this.
Well, let's have a look. It's Ian Taylor coming forward, and this is Ray Walker now. Just look how he goes around the Blackpool defender. Nice 1-2 from Ian Taylor, and picked that one out. It nearly burst the net. Marvellous.
And there you see the Blackpool goalkeeper really praying to Haller there, and he really wondered what had gone on there. And look at all the Port Vale teammates, and they really can't believe that sort of goal, can they?
They certainly can't.
And then, of course, Ronald Sinclair plays the ball out of goal, and then it's played straight back in. Nicky Cross beat the offside trap, played Martin Foyle. You've got to fancy Martin Foyle from here. Bang, he makes no mistake from some 16 yards, and that put Port Vale on level terms, Phil.
And this is where the heavens really opened up now, wasn't it? The rain started to really pour down just before half-time, and in the second half, we were all hanging on, weren't we, for our dear lives. Lives. Tim, the cameraman, had got one hand on his camera, and his other hand was holding the wall.
Andy Porter made a welcome return to the side with a goal of distinct class, and he really did punish the Stoke City defence there with an excellent goal. And just look at the Port Vale faithful there. They are loving this night, Phil, weather or no weather. Three-quarters of the pitch, and it's stuck in the mud. Nicky Cross gets the ball, he plays it through to Martin Foyle. Again, the ball is held up in these atrocious conditions, and Martin Foyle makes no mistake with a great goal there. And that signalled his return to the side, and great work it was by him. And look at the Port Vale faithful, they're dancing now. Here's Ray Walker, feeding the ball out to the far side to Bradley Sanderman. He plays a neat little ball infield. Great dummy there by Nicky Cross, and Ian Taylor fires home a brilliant goal. And the Port Vale crowd go wild. Port Vale back on the road to victory. A comprehensive victory in this match. They run out worthy winners by 3-0. Fulham regain possession. Chris Sully finds it. Pinpoint cross to Robin van der Laan. Robin van der Laan gets the ball over, and Ian Taylor. Now, Ian Taylor thought that was his best goal of the season. Although we disagreed with him on the night, we thought the one against Blackpool. But what an excellent and taking goal that was. Peter Swan, very strong on the ball. The skipper for the day. Finds Nicky Cross. Nicky Cross, great pass in to Keith Houchin. And Keith Houchin surging towards goal, and you won't see a better finish than that. Curling the ball with the outside of the right foot, right past the dive of the Swansea goalkeeper. The old partnership of Houchin and Cross paying off again there for Port Vale. See the touch lines, but the snow seemed to stop all of a sudden, and all of a sudden Port Vale on the attack again. Pinpoint cross from Martin Foyle. Martin Foyle scores a great goal there, and that was the demise of West Brom, and Port Vale did the double in the league over West Brom. Went down and won there 1-0 and brought them back to Port Vale in the snow and run out 2-1 winners. Kevin Kent standing over the ball, but Chris Sully elects to take this one. It's going to be an in-swinging free kick. Cluster of Vale players there. Watch out for number 4, Robin van der Laan, as the cross comes over. Robin van der Laan meets it, and a brilliant goal there. Left Ronnie Sinclair with no chance whatsoever. Robin van der Laan salutes the Port Vale fans, and the Port Vale fans go crazy. So that was the goal that puts Port Vale through in the Sortoglass Trophy. Let's see it from behind the goal. An excellent free kick by Chris Sully, and Ronnie Sinclair was a good 6 inches off that ball. And again, as we have a look at this one, the ball swinging in. Robbie van der Laan meets it with a brilliant contact, and there is a poor old Ronnie Sinclair grasping fresh air. And it was late on in the game when a marvellous piece of skill by Robin van der Laan, using the chest to control, a flick through by Martin Foyle, and there's Bernie Slaven, and we were saying earlier on he scored some very important goals for Port Vale, and that really did seal his fate with Port Vale, and he is now a hero of the terraces without a doubt. Bernie Slaven then, the ex-Middlesbrough striker, ex-Republic of International striker.
The captain. 1-1.
Peter Billy finding Bernie Slaven. Slaven with a crossover, and there was Martin Foyle, and Martin Foyle did the damage there, and that took Port Vale into the playoff final. And as you can see there, all the Vale fans jubilant, as are the players at this moment. Port Vale are at Wembley twice in 8 days.
Kerr's going to score! Kerr has scored for Port Vale! What an absolutely marvellous move! And Paul Kerr, first team television's player of the season, puts Port Vale in the lead.
absolutely marvellous football.
Yeah, well, Paul Kerr showing Chris Beaumont exactly how it's done. You can see there he's well onside, played onside by the defender, and goalkeeper no chance, shot straight into the back of the net. And Paul Kerr, Port Vale 1, Stockport County 0. What a start for John Rudge.
What an absolutely defence-splitting ball it was on 15 minutes, that goal. Look at this, Bernie Slaven split the defence with that one. And here's Paul Kerr to slot the ball home.
Foyle's in the penalty area. It's got to come back though to Andy Porter. And this is Dean Glover. Good work this from Port Vale, knocking the ball out very well, using the pitch to good effect. This is Foyle. Slaven's going to score! Bernie Slaven has scored for Port Vale, and what a goal that was! The time and space the Vale players had was brilliantly architected by Port Vale, and it's 2-0.
Well, you saw John Rudge on that picture, he's absolutely delighted. And quite rightly so, what a marvellous goal. Let's take a look at it. Here's Dean Glover whipping the ball forward. But this is Foyle with a lovely touch on. Bernie Slaven takes it on the knee, brings it forward, left-footed. Give Neil Edwards no chance whatsoever. Foyle's flick on was absolutely tremendous, and Slaven makes no mistake from that sort of position. And Port Vale are 2 goals in front now, Phil.
Of the second half before Nicky Cross came in, 3 minutes to be exact, and got the Vale on level terms. That's good work there from Paul Kerr, as you can see. And Nicky Cross goes through, brilliant goal. Bottom left-hand corner of the goal. John Filland in the Cambridge goal had no chance at all. Half-time came and went. Port Vale made of stern stuff these days. Ian Taylor helping to build from midfield, and that's a great ball through from Nicky Cross. And there we go, the goal back from Bernie Slaven, 62 minutes of the match gone. Vale find themselves back in this match. To Vale Park, and another team that didn't know what was going to hit them. From early on, Vale were attacking force, and straight away they found themselves 1-0 up with an absolutely brilliant shot from Paul Kerr. And as our friend from Brentford would say, that's a goal. Hull City came to Vale Park on the 9th of October. An intriguing game, bright sunlight. Vale find themselves 1-0 up with a superb overhead kick from Nicky Cross. And Cross certainly going through a purple patch at the moment in the Vale team. himself a little bit of space over there on the far side. He goes round the goal scorer, Allison, puts the ball past Alan Tettis. 2-1, Port Vale, great result. Dean Glover, he hasn't got his name on the score sheet for a few matches. And what about this? Pick that one out. 3-0, Port Vale. Vale weren't over yet, second half of the match, and forward they come. It's time for Ian Taylor to get a goal. He hasn't got a goal for a few matches. Great work down the left-hand side by Martin Foyle. And this falls for Ian Taylor. In off the post, I think. There we go. Huddersfield had come, they'd defended and kept Vale at bay. Conditions were atrocious, but Alan Tankard doesn't mind if it rains or not, because when you can put balls into the back of the net like that, you're going in to the third round of the FA Cup.
But certainly don't want to give anything away now as Sean Connolly knocks the ball away, not back in. Big Kevin, Francis under pressure. Lowe drives it in, 2-1. We did clear the ball and David Lowe swept it in to make it 2-1. Well, we're in for a hairy last 6 minutes.
Haven't we met somewhere before?
On the far side to Kevin Kent, gets the cross in, and this is a great chance, it's got to be, it is! And what a great goal by the new boy, Lee Glover.
And that's a useful ball looking for Martin Foyle. This time, lays the ball. What a goal for Martin Foyle! And that's how to finish. Athletic, and you have to say Port Vale a good value for this lead at the moment.
Oh, what a chance for Naylor, Naylor's going to score! Is he? Yes! A brilliant goal by Tony Naylor!
Tony Naylor shows his class as a striker over the top of the goalkeeper. Porter, back to Griffiths. And he spreads the ball wide to Alan Tankard. Tankard finds Kent. Kent finds Porter. This is Glover, and it's there! What a great goal for Port Vale. A marvellous opening, and you have to give the credit to Andy Porter, who found Lee Glover, and Lee Glover makes no mistake. This is Sanderman. Looking for Foyle, Foyle does well, Van der Laan. Was that a tackle from behind? You have to ask yourself, though. This is Lee Glover. Glover, it's there for Port Vale. Lee Glover's first league goal for Port Vale. Martin Foyle also there. Lee Glover runs towards the near post, just off your picture. Foyle it is and goes up there. Falls for Sandeman! Sandeman scored! What a great goal for Port Vale! What a marvellous goal! And a fast Lee Glover. Fell to Lee Glover on the end of the box, and the Port Vale fans go wild.
Free kick. This is Martin Foyle, and this is Ray Walker! Ray Walker! Oh, what a goal! And that comes on 28 minutes of the second half. Joe Allen to Van der Laan, looking for his options. Hasn't got too many, needs to keep going forward with the ball. Finds Martin Foyle on this near side in a bit of space. Edwards comes across to have a look. This is Porter! Yes! Andy Porter! 5-0 on 34 minutes. Oh, that was sheer quality from Andy Porter. Joe Allen trying to find Andy Porter. Has he got the legs? Has he got the pace? He has. He's got a great cross in to Foyle. And there it is. Number 3 from Martin Foyle. 2 minutes before half time. We've had 43 minutes. And what a great cross on the far side from Andy Porter.
Short to Porter. Porter, neat turn in space. Looks to measure the cross. It's flicked towards this near post. This is Lee Glover. Backfield, Walker, slid across, it's there! An early goal from Port Vale by Tony Naylor. What a marvellous goal. That's their first real attack, and Port Vale are in the lead in this Bottery derby, and the game just 2 minutes old. Mike.
Well, lovely build-up there with Peter Billing coming over. There was hesitancy from Bradley Sandeman. He played it to Andy Porter. Andy Porter lost his marker, played it into the area where Lee Glover just did a neat little back flick. It's helped on Tony Naylor in the right place at the right time, and well, Tony Naylor's expression says it all really.
See what they can do here though. Steve Guppy swinging this one towards the goal with the left foot. Foyle! It's there! Martin Foyle has scored for Port Vale. What we said, it just took one moment of magic, and it was there from Steve Guppy combining with the great Martin Foyle, who gets his 18th strike of the season. Simon.
Well, I tipped Martin Foyle to score actually. I was on a slight wager on that before the kick-off. He hasn't scored for a while. That was an absolute superb delivery of a corner from Steve Guppy. We were mentioning that delivery had to be inch perfect, and Martin Foyle, the state defence, didn't pick him up. An absolute superb header from Martin Foyle, and Port Vale are in front.
Well, there you go.
Bogey outside of the right foot. Lovely ball there by Ian Bogey to Steve Guppy. Steve Guppy into Tanks to and what a goal! Lee Glover, what a goal! The build up there for Port Vale, absolutely perfect. McCarthy. Glover lays the ball off very nicely indeed. The ball coming over from McCarthy. Up go the heads, but it's number 5, Kevin Ball, who clears only as far as Porter. Porter, that ball there. In comes Andy Porter, he shoots. And what a glorious goal by Andy Porter. 2 minutes gone in the first half, and Andy Porter may well he look pleased with himself. Lovely build-up from Port Vale, and what a finish from the local lad, Andy Porter. With 5 players in the area. Stuart Talbot, he's going to start a running any moment as soon as Steve Guppy makes his move. Over comes the ball, Mills in there. Now it comes to Talbot, and what a goal! Stuart Talbot, right foot cracker of a shot, straight into the top corner. Porter now to Bogey, Bogey out to Guppy, in space, Steve Guppy. Lee Mills, Tony Naylor in the area. Steve Guppy going it alone, he's going for the shot, and Steve Guppy, marvellous solo goal. Pull that ball down out to the air on the left-hand side, cut inside. He had 2 quality strikers up there in the box. He just cut inside and just unleashed a shot there.
Beats the challenge, pushes it forward, Foyle recovers that, Naylor picks it up, turns it out to the left to Guppy, and Guppy goes round his man, shoots, and it's gone in. I think that was more of a cross really to Martin Foyle, but the flight of the ball completely baffled the goalkeeper, and the Vale are 2 goals up.
But Alan Tankard now plays it up to Naylor. Naylor, and we've got a second chance, and Martin Foyle makes it 2. Lovely side foot there, Martin Foyle. Again, good build-ups. Vale goal. Paul Musselwhite reading the ball very well. Sends a long ball centre field. Good control by McCarthy. Turns well. Takes the 1-2. Ray Walker. Still Walker. Curves it in. And what a goal from Ray Walker. What an absolute corker. Just when you thought he'd lost it, the substitute just turns calm as you like, curls it into the top corner past the outstretched hand of Nigel Martin, and it's Port Vale 4, Crystal Palace 3.
Guppy out wide. That's a cut inside. Lovely ball through for Naylor. Tony Naylor, that's a great cross. Foyle! And Port Vale have got the equaliser. It's a fantastic goal. There's a lovely ball through from Steve Guppy, but cut right through the Everton defence. Tony Naylor coming out wide, that's a lovely crossing with the outside of his foot. And Martin Foyle has the simple task of putting it in the back of the net. Lovely ball through from Guppy. Naylor, great cross inside. Foyle was there. Port Vale are back in this game. Great goal. It's 1-1. Surely time running out now for the Valiants. Everton holding on to this lead. Well, here's Guppy now out wide. What can you do with this ball? Puts the cross in. It's easily cleared. Bogey picks it up though. Tries a shot. And it's in! Port Vale have got the second equaliser of the afternoon, with surely seconds to spare. And the players can't believe it. It's a poor clearance really. Bogey has the strike, takes a wicked deflection over Southall, and it's 2-2. Bogey shot, deflects over Southall. And really, it's everything that Port Vale deserve for this great performance.
play. Tankard finds Andy Hill back in the centre. Good run on by Ian Bogey. Still Ian Bogey. Finds a shot. That's in the net. Ian Bogey, 17 minutes gone. And not 2 minutes ago, Simon I was saying he had to make more of an impact into this game. And Ian Bogey, we love you here at Port Vale. Port Vale 1, Everton 0. And what an absolute gem he did it at Goodison Park 3 weeks ago. Look at this, Simon, coming up on the video. Bang! Straight past Southall and straight into the back of that net.
You could see that was going to be a goal as soon as he hit it. You won't see many better goals than that anywhere in the league this month. Not many better than that this season, I wouldn't imagine.
Very generous support, very appreciative of this game tonight. But look at that.
We're on the attack again. But 2 minutes through into the area. Scott to score! Yes, he has! The goal is Scott's goal! And you've got to say that was deserved. What did we say? It's got to go in the back of the net soon. And there we have it. Southall's can't complain about that one. It's a beautiful move. Mick, how did you see that one?
Well, I actually caught my microphone as it went up in the air, but look at this, Guppy, bang, straight over. In comes his opposite wingman, boom, in off the post, round the back of the net and out over the line again. Port Vale, this is it, the crowd on the edge of the seats. This has been the talking point for the last month, whether this game would go ahead, and it has. Andy Porter, Vale skipper, plays it out to the right. Hill, foil, lets it go. Ian Bogey shoots, and it's in the net! What an absolute dream start from Ian Bogey and Port Vale. The Port Vale fans are delighted. I make that 30 seconds after kick-off. Stoke City caught napping, and Port Vale with surely the quickest goal of the season here at Vale Park. Simon, how did you view that?
Well, that's really put the kettle off the pigeons, doesn't it, Mick? I'm a bit speechless, I have to say. An excellent goal, superb cut straight through the Stoke team. They were all half asleep, but I'm not taking anything away from the Vale. It was some lovely move and a beautifully taken goal. It's taken a lot to beat Prudo these last 5 or 6 games. Not many teams have done it, and that was a superbly taken goal. And maybe that's what this game needed.
Lovely ball off Ian Bogey. Fire! It's in the net! Martin Ford pulls on back for Port Vale, and that's more something like from the Valiants. That's all we've been wanting to see all afternoon. That is a Vale. Look at this, Bogey outside of the right foot. McCarthy down in one, picks his man, plays it in, and there's the man himself, Martin Foyle. 3 touches, bang! Stoke sticks a foot out, Porter helps it on its way, and Andy Hill going forward. McCarthy, Glover, McCarthy, and it's in the net! 2 minutes left on the clock, and John McCarthy fully justifying his call up to the Northern Ireland B International later on this month. Be a perfect day. Vale winning, and me getting second in the National and taking some money off a bookmaker. But Vale, Andy Porter, good play by Porter, and look at that! Andy Porter, what an absolute screamer! And there'll be a sending off there. Certainly Payton, if he stays on the pitch after that. Andy Porter celebrating the goal. Payton, as Andy Porter receiving the applause off his teammates, punching Andy Porter there. And could this be the one that breaks the deadlock? So over comes the corner. The heads are up, but the blue shirt's there, standing firm. That ball played up towards Mendonca. And Aspin there, showing battling qualities, Neil Aspin. He's taken this wide. Aspin shoots, it's in the net! And Neil Aspin, the captain, leading by example. And putting Port Vale ahead with 5 minutes left on the clock. Walker ran straight through the centre of the Grimsby Town defence and drilled a low hard shot past Paul Crichton. It's a long ball. Elliott, powerful header. Glover brings it down. Finds McCarthy out on the wing. Easy ball from McCarthy to Neil Aspin. Neil Aspin on a charge. And McCarthy gets the cross in. Foyle's header to Naylor. Still Naylor. Shoots and Tony Naylor. Paul Vale with a chance out of nothing. 41 minutes into the first half.
Bogey finding Hill, good ball inside the channel and a lovely flick. Hill's through. Hill, it's there! Port Vale has scored! And that was the most cleverest of flicks you're ever likely to see from little Tony Naylor. And Hill found the ball at his feet and smashes a great right foot drive past the diving and despaired diving of Jason Pearcey to put the home side 1-0 in the lead. It's Port Vale 1, Grimsby Town 0.
Making a late appearance with Port Vale, Steve Guppy playing it into the area. And Mills, he's got the equaliser. Lee Mills sends Vale Park delirious, and look, if they can catch him, the rest of the players will actually give him the congratulations he deserves. It's gone against the run of play. Stoke City by far team this afternoon here at Vale Park, but Vale somehow, there was a hit and hope ball in from Guppy. Mills went up there and headed it powerfully into the back of the net. Talbot in space, Talbot turns, looks up, finds Walker, Ray Walker going forward. Well, plays it to Guppy. Guppy now. Steve Guppy shoots, and Steve Guppy scores a brilliant goal. Fainted one way, fainted the other, took the ball off Ray Walker. I think he was in two minds, Tony Naylor, to lay that ball off to his right, Steve Guppy. Instead, he decided to have a dig, and Steve Guppy put Paul Vale back on level terms. That ball takes a wicked bounce there, but luckily for the Valiants, Gary Green puts it out, and Vale back with the throw-in. Guppy to Tankard. Tankard gets it over. Naylor! Fantastic goal by Tony Naylor! Absolute gem of a goal, his first real chance. It came from a throw-in, hooked over by Alan Tankard. Naylor, one ball to control, turns, hits it on the volley, and bang! Port Vale 1, over it comes, Tony.
Oh, it's a great goal, this. Look at it, it's an attempted cross by Alan Tankard, flicked up and hit on the turn. You won't see a better goal than that this season, Mike. Let's take another look at it. You see, he followed it, he knew exactly, he picked the spot with perfection. You will not see a better goal than that this season, I'm convinced of that.
Well, Tony Naylor, there was a lot of people around there nipping Naylor. Puts another one into the back of the net for Port Vale. Vale, I think, to the credit, have started to play how they were doing in the first half.
Cross coming over! It's there from Guppy! 2 goals, 2 games, that's the Guppy for you. What a great goal, great awareness. Great awareness, and that is really game, set and match one feels in this game. Let's just take a look at this replay. Oh, and great play there by Tony Naylor. Cross being driven across by Andy Porter. And Guppy, who got on the blind side of his marker, makes it 3-0. Birmingham City know what it's all about here at Vale Park now. We were saying that a record is going to be broken here, or a run is going to be broken. Either Birmingham City's away, terrible away form, or Port Vale's equally as bad home form. But as that cross comes over, Guppy doesn't waste chances like that.
It's worked so far. Sturgis, Lisby, Sturgis, cleared by Aspen. A bit too tight there for the youngsters. There's a missed kick. Away comes the number 10, Naylor. Barnes is coming across to close him down, which he does well, and he gets it inside there. Number 10, Tony Naylor. Scored 30 goals since he was the side since 1994. And he has equalised. But he had a save to make. And then, on the other hand, he's got 2 goals in the back of his net. Another mistake there. Chappell's clearance hasn't got away this time. McCarthy's there. Naylor's in the middle. Here he is for a hat-trick. And there's his hat-trick. There's the hat-trick with the number 10, Tony Naylor. And Phil Chappell, who went to clear the ball on this side, was robbed by John McCarthy, who sprinted down the Port Vale right. Charlton defence was coming across. A great cross from McCarthy, driven across the front. And Tony Naylor just went, thank you, put that in the back of the net.
Looking forward, plays it up towards Foyle, chested down by Foyle, in comes the shot, and it's in the net. Well, it is 4-0 now. And Tony, a lovely work there, Foyle laying the ball off. And Stuart Talbot, the man, grabbing his second.
Well, I must have hit that from 30 yards, and he left Brian Gunn, an experienced international goalkeeper, with absolutely no chance whatsoever.
Where's he going to take him on? Gets into the byline, gets a good cross in. Mills at the header, and Lee Mills makes it 2-0. An absolute beauty of a cross from Steve Guppy. The crowd there absolutely delighted by that. And as I said earlier, Steve Guppy not yet firing on all cylinders, but look at this for a cross. Perfectly measured. I think the Queen's Park Rangers players thought it was going out. Lee Mills never took his eye off it, and bang, 2-0 to the Vale. Absolutely brilliant. Here it is again. 2-0, Roberts with no chance. And the defence, it has to be said, for Queen's Park Rangers, just standing there watching that ball go over. Over it comes again, and Lee Mills. Mills, he never took his eyes off it. Very gangly in the way he runs. Jermaine Holwyn, from what people have told me, very impressive in the reserves. Naylor there, beating the offside trap. Naylor into the area. He's waiting for support. He's got it. Guppy down. And look at that, 3-0. What an absolutely marvellous move there by Port Vale. That ball, the move started by Holwyn to Andy Hill, flicked on by Lee Mills, Naylor in the clear. Now look at this, turns Brevitt. Guppy is calling for that ball. He receives it. The deftest of touches. In comes Jansen, and bang, his left foot does the rest. Port Vale 3, Queen's Park Rangers 0. And let's look at this again. There's Guppy and there's Jansen. And John Rudge must be a happy man indeed.
Down the line for Andy Porter. Porter to Naylor. Naylor trying to turn, trying to get the shot. Great goal, Naylor! Marvellous goal! And that was taken with some class by the little man, Tony Naylor. Received the ball from Andy Porter. Takes a turn, sees where the goalkeeper is, and then fairly curls the ball past the diving Paul Crichton with the right foot into the top corner, and Port Vale back on level terms.
Tony Naylor there looking for options, but still tries to ghost in there. Well, Naylor brushed off the ball. There's around 5 minutes to go before half-time. This is an excellent chance for Port Vale to get back on level terms. Ipswich have pulled every single player back into the area. Now they're all queuing up there. It's like your guess as good as mine on who's going to have a dig here. Will it be Ian Bogey, Lee Mills? We've got Andy Porter there, Dean Glover, Steve Guppy. Mills fires one in, and Lee Mills puts the scores, and Port Vale 1, Ipswich Town 1. What an absolutely cracking goal from Lee Mills. John Rudge has said so many times he can shoot with either foot. He's got a terrific shot, and I don't think Richard Wright actually saw that until it was coming out of the back of the net.
Challenged by Stuart Talbot. I mean, Stuart Talbot's just having a simply brilliant game at right back for me. This is Tankard putting in field. Do they know about this venomous left foot? If he strikes it, it's Mills, it's there! Oh, what a goal! Well, just as we thought that Alan Tankard was shaping for the shot, Lee Mills says, I'm the man, and he hit an unstoppable shot on 51 minutes. Lee Mills bags what I think could be the goal of the season.
He's scored something like 149 goals for Tranmere since he signed. When you consider they signed him for 250,000 from Real Sociedad, I think in today's overinflated transfer prices, it's an absolute bargain. But Vale on the attack. Up goes Mills, and Lee Mills makes it 1-1 for Port Vale. Absolute cracking build-up play there by the Vale. That ball started off there by Cordes. The ball centred into the area. Nixon with no trouble cleared it back upfield. Vale winning it back into possession. Talbot played it down the line. A lovely centre coming into the area over the head of Tony Naylor, and Lee Mills was there, just powered his way in, and a thumping header there past the helpless Eric Nixon. In turn finding Dean Glover to Cordes. He'll play it now. Well, this is a good passing movement now from Port Vale. Andy Hill to Lee Mills. He just brings it back. Dean Glover back to Mills. Ian Bogey takes over. Cordes calling for the ball. Instead he finds Naylor, and look at that Tony Naylor there. Gets the shot in, and Tony Naylor, well, the move itself brought applause from the crowd, just the way it was played around the back four. It was played in by Ian Bogey. Cordes was calling for the ball. Instead he played it into Tony Naylor. Naylor turned one way, turned the other, and then just unleashed a shot. The back of the net rippled, and the crowd went wild.
You know, this is a make-or-break move now from John Rudge.
Well, good call off Tony there. Thoroughly agree with him. Port Vale, they've got nothing to lose. They've just got to go all out for it. And it's up to the lads out there to break down this Wolves defence. And the first touch there for Martin Foyle. It's a good one. He's found John McCarthy. He plays it infield. And we're going to have an input now off Ian Bogey. But he's found Tankard, Naylor, and look at that, straight away! The move works! Good call there by Tony! And what can you say? It's the perfect answer. As Tony said, he's putting 3 men up front to put more pressure on this Wolves defence. Martin Foyle's first touch, finding John McCarthy. He in turn found Bogey to Tanks, and Naylor, look at that! Get in there! Port Vale 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 1, a masterstroke by John Rudge. But Tony, that must give you great pleasure, that.
Well, you know, I could see, as soon as I saw Martin Foyle start warming up, I knew what was going to happen, because John Rudge knows the importance of this game.
So Port Vale get us underway. Martin Foyle with the kick-off. Immediately looking for Lee Mills. Vale attacking the goal to our left in their white shirts and black shorts. County in their familiar blue and white shirts. And immediately there's a chase on for Foyle. And it's cuts inside. He looks for the number 9 and he scores. It's as easy as that. Mills, the scorer. And I don't think there's a minute on the clock. Great run from Foyle. Cut it inside for Mills to strike it home. Past the despair of Eric Nixon. County, 1 down. It would make much difference, but it will be retaken. Flick on. This is Foyle. County making himself available. Away by Woodthorpe. Armstrong. Good defending again from Snyders. Foyle looking for his strike partner, Mills, and Mills takes it on his chest and buries it. Second goal for Vale, second goal for Lee Mills, and a second assist for Martin Foyle. Took it on his chest and crashed it home.
Vale went on the attack, charged for the very first time, and with their first shot, got the first goal. Gareth Ainsworth, the hero for them. The villains, the town defence.
Ball still well forward. Peter Beadle now.
Well, he's opened the scoring. Peter Beadle opens the scoring for Port Vale against the run of play. And his first goal for Port Vale. And how well he took it. Signed as a replacement for Lee Mills. He'll be feeling absolutely furious with himself for letting that ball pass. But as we go into the railway paddock, the Vale fans, something to cheer about.
The referee acknowledging the linesman's flag there. Gallimore. Little touch forward was a good one. Kingsley Black slides it forward for Jack Lester. Ball knocked away. Grimsby throws. Lee Ashcroft. Paul Vale worked the ball away. Talbot's is a good-looking ball. Ainsworth the man after it. Good cross. Oh, crikey! Look out! No marking. Tony Naylor, well, he's a good little player, but that was a smart move from minute one. Stuart Talbot's ball found Ainsworth in an acre of space. The cross was perfect, took out the defence. I think Davison didn't really know whether to come or stop. As he stayed on his line, well, Tony Naylor, well, we use the expression food and drink, and that fella's red hot sometimes, and he's starting off in fine form today.
Paul Vale. Gareth Ainsworth, still Ainsworth. Ainsworth makes it drain. And a brilliant solo goal by Gareth Ainsworth. Bristol City had the ball taken off the feet there, and Gareth Ainsworth, I've said it about 3 or 4 times in this match, Joe Moore has afforded him 2 markers, and in the second half he seemed to have had 3. Well, he just shrugged them aside and put that ball in the back of the net. Port Vale 3, Bristol City 2.
Well, this is marked quite easy. Cuts inside. And it's a lovely goal there by Martin Foyle. Absolutely wonderful goal. Ball came out of the Vale defence quite well. A lovely ball there by Craig Russell to Foyle. Beats 2 men, cuts inside, and puts it past his highly rated Nico Vasson. Wonderful goal there by Martin Foyle. Today, and I don't think they realise how cold it can be at Paul Vale.
Scoring of that first goal, which seems so long ago now. Bogey perhaps tries luck from here, does. Oh, and what a super goal! this going to stop? What a lovely, lovely strike from Ian Bogey. Well, he certainly exploited their man advantage there. One touch, lovely shot. Andy Marshall, no chance whatsoever. A lovely strike from Ian Bogey. And there was no way that was ever going to be saved.
Graham to the far post. Then it goes Gardner. Anthony Gardner as Dave Brammer from the pitch, drifting in from the edge of the area. Tank's just got a flick on it. Gardner bending it over. He's injured in the process, but look at that. That is the happiest sight you'll see of Thursday all afternoon. If it stays at 1-0, it's now 20 minutes. Port Vale open the scoring. Lovely turn off. Carl Griffiths, he finds Richard